Well, speaking of Diddy, on Monday, the closing arguments from the prosecution will be made, and then the defense will start. They're saying 2 to 5 days. Diddy's not taking the stand. Now, as a couple that does your own version of freak offs, what's your whole take on this whole situation?
I'll let you go first.
I have not been paying attention, so I don't want to misspeak. I mean, I know the gist of it is that Cassie was involved in these freak offs and maybe she was not a willing participant in it. I feel like she probably wanted to participate in it, but also at times maybe didn't, but didn't want to piss Diddy off. And I feel like there's a little bit of a gray area there. And then obviously he was very abusive towards her and we saw the footage of that. So, you know, I don't think he was like, I don't know. I think she wanted to, but I think that she got to a point where she didn't want to.
Every piece of evidence I've seen indicates that she was a more than willing participant in this. Now, that may have been taking place under duress, that he may have hijacked her brain to such an extent that she felt like she had to be the one calling the escort centers and ordering up the men and whatnot. I guess that's possible.
And like her finances, right? Like wasn't all of her finances wrapped up in him? It's like with Adam, right? In the beginning of our relationship, I knew his favorite thing was threesomes. That's our business now. But like there were nights where I was like, oh, maybe I don't feel like it right now, but I want to make him happy. So I'm like, let's have a threesome, you know? And it's like, he's kind to me, he's sweet to me, he always appreciated it, but maybe Diddy wasn't like that. Maybe he was like, you know, we have to do this or else such and such.
Yeah, I mean, there's text messages from her that says, I'm always ready for a freak off.
Always ready is crazy.
Yeah, and one of the first escorts that took the stand, he actually said that she asked him to urinate in her mouth.
It was her idea. Was she on drugs?
Drugs are definitely involved in these freak offs. I mean, according to not only the court, but also, you know, I interviewed Roger Bonds, his former, you know, head of security. There would always be drugs around. He would send people to the doctor to get pills when he would run out, and, you know, had drug dealers around and so forth. Look, I mean, I interviewed the Punisher, who was one of the escorts who took the stand, and it was actually pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting because what he said was every single time he went over there, it was always the same routine. After like the first couple times, he would have sex with Cassie while Diddy would watch. At one point, Diddy would leave the room and go in the other room. He would pull out and ejaculate like on Cassie's stomach. And then she would jump up and she would like kind of like make sure the liquid gold didn't spill and sort of just run to the other room to Cassie, you know, to Diddy to transport what he had just, you know, dumped on her stomach. And what he said was really funny because he told me this off camera. He said, yeah, you know, this whole time, you know, I was a little worried. And I was actually relieved when I heard the trial when Cassie said that Diddy would like take the man juice and rub it on his nipples. Because this whole time he thought that Diddy was eating it.
That's what I thought you were going to say.
Nope, just rubbing it in there.
What leads you to a point in life where that is what turns you on?
I don't know. Did Diddy do that when you were with him and the Punisher?
Never met any of those men. Stop trying to start this rumor. You're awful.
I want the Punisher to hit her with that big old fake plastic penis. That's my dream. Hey, I'm allowed to dream. I love you. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I don't want to just fall into this sort of like stereotypical red pill mentality. All these dudes making content now where they're saying this is bullshit. Cassie was a willing participant in it. This is all just a big fucking scam, whatever, because I acknowledge that Diddy very easily could have created an environment in which she would have felt pressured and forced to do all these things. And obviously him controlling her music career and her living situation and probably almost all of her finances definitely created a situation in which this could have been a coercive situation. From what I've seen, paying attention to the trial, which has not been me paying 100% attention to the trial, I just haven't really felt like that. Like, I think without question, he was abusive, and for sure they had a fucked up relationship. It's just, I feel like I know quite a few people who are in fucked up relationships that are mostly consensual, where if anybody were to observe the man's behavior towards the woman in isolation or the woman's behavior towards the man in isolation, that they would each individually look like monsters, but then you take the two together and you just have a fucked up relationship. So for me, as somebody who hasn't been 100% paying attention, I just haven't really seen the evidence presented that makes me feel like Diddy is this horrific monster.